Welcome everyone to the show. Thanks for joining. I had a major brain freeze for like 5 seconds. That was horrible. But thanks guys for joining in. This is the Loyal BBN Fan Show. I'm your host, Mike. Uh, man, I hope I can get through at least 30 minutes tonight, man, without internet issues. We've been having internet issues all since yesterday, and I'm late because I had to restart my computer, and hopefully my Wi-Fi holds up. But Kentucky basketball has a exposition game Wednesday night against Kentucky Wesleyan, and I think most people, if not all, are very excited to see Kentucky back on the floor against someone else besides each other. We're looking forward to that too as well. So it will be I will, I would hopefully because it's like 2 hours long, so I should be able to do a post game show right after that. Here strictly on YouTube, and we will not have a show on Thursday night. So tomorrow's post game show for Kentucky Wesleyan will be the show that we'll cover for Thursday night. So there will not be a Thursday night show. Thank you guys so much. So let me see who the first ones who is in the group tonight. And Brian Shanks, thank you so much. How do you feel about what they've done with the blue and white? Man, I'm Fern Creek in the house. Thanks, national champions, for seeing Brian Shanks get the first YouTube. I appreciate you tonight. Thank you so much, Brian, for being the first. You know, I, I, I had a chance. I'm not sure if you watched the video or not, Brian, but I had to initially listen to the game on the radio, and then I had a chance to go back and watch it later the next day or whatever on YouTube. So it felt good to really be able to watch it, to listen, and just visualize, try to visualize what Coach Pope's offense is all about, and to try to figure out what the team was about and how the floor spacing was and how the people got up and down the floor and how fast they was and how often are they passing the ball. Because see, sometimes you don't when you listen, when you watch it, you don't always pay attention to some of those little key details. But when you have a good radio guy who can actually draw you a picture of what's going on, and if you hear the word pass and he passed it, he passed it, he passed it, that kind of lets you know because you have to draw that mental picture as far as what is our guys doing? Is the ball moving? Are they rotating? Are they getting up and down the floor? Are they playing defense? Are they aggressive? So that's the kind of things that I had a chance to hear before I seen it, and it just made after the fact of going back and watching it, it made me enjoy it a whole lot more because I was able to remember as far as what I heard the day before or the night before, as far as what the catch was doing. So I'm really happy with it, and I made a solid point about the blue and white game. Of course, there's not a lot of relief, so it's not a lot of people that can come off the floor very often. So you come out, and then he goes in, and then hey, Shot Glass, good to see you, brother. Thank you so much for joining in. So for me, one thing that I took from that, we played a really good blue and white game. But the thing for me to understand, and for most people to understand, is that we got a squad. We got a really, really good squad. And you know what I'm saying? So we're practically 12 deep. If you really want to be honest, we're 12 deep. How much is all 12 guys going to get a lot of playing time each ball game? That's still to be seen. But my point is, we was fatigued during the blue and white game because you're going up and down the court and you're going full speed the whole time. Now, when you take guys off the bench with fresh legs, like 𝐀𝐫𝐭𝐒𝐜𝐢𝐞𝐳𝐜, he didn't play in the ball game. We look for him. Well, not sure if he's going to play in the exposition game. Not sure if I would risk it just for that. But the other guys, and then like you got other guys who can come off the bench and that can still give you good quality minutes. So I think overall that gave us a glimpse of who we are, but it also let me know that once we got guys with fresh legs coming in and off the bench, and we continue that momentum, and I like what Coach Pope said in his press conference, he wants to run the whole game, like full speed the whole game. And how do you do that? You do that with the confidence of knowing that when your bench comes in, that you will not have a major let off. If Amari Williams comes out and you got to put Garrison in, dude, like you're not losing a whole lot. If you got to put some shooters in, anything like that. I think the Cats are set up for success with the rotation that they have, and I definitely look forward to seeing this exposition game against Kentucky Wesleyan coming up tomorrow night. It's going to be good. So I think Richard Decker in the house. Hey, Richard, thank you so much for joining. If you're ready for Kentucky basketball, just give me a Go Big Blue or something because I'm excited. Like, the football team is pretty much, in a sense, tanking. We don't know what they're going to do. We don't know which team we're going to get from week in and week out. So we just kind of just take it for what it is. But we got Kentucky basketball, and that's the thing that we hold on to here in the state of Kentucky is that how our beloved our beloved Kentucky Wildcat basketball team, and we're all looking. Thank you, Sean. We're all looking for redemption, and it sounds odd coming from a Kentucky fan or a Kentucky program that we're looking for redemption, but we're looking for redemption. We're looking to get back to where we're supposed to be at, and that's in the top, getting back to the top tier of college basketball. And I think in year one, we do as fans, we think Coach Pope has what it does to get us back to where we're supposed to be at. But unfortunately, it was a article on CBS Sports, and uh, it listed somewhere. It listed the um, coaches for success in first year at their new school, and Mark Pope was not in the top five. Matter of fact, they only did the top five, so I don't know where he would. I'm not sure where he would end up at. But it's notable that, of course, John Calipari ended up at number one for Arkansas. They got Jake Dibbler from Ohio State, number two. Now, these are coaches who they think is going to kill it in year one at their new school. So basically, if you don't make the top five, then you ain't nobody. So they got Dusty May at Michigan. They got John Shakes at St. Louis for number four. And at number five, they got Chris Mack at Charleston. So they got these top five guys that they're saying basically that these guys, if anybody's going to have success in the first year at their new schools, these are going to be the guys who actually have success in the first year. So, I still think I still like my chances. I still like what Coach Pope has put together in the offseason, and I think a lot of people are going to be surprised outside of Kentucky at just how good we're going to be this year. And I think that's the joy of you will have to know that there's going to be a bias. Oh, absolutely. Well, this is coming from CBS, and CBS actually did rank us higher than the AP in the poll. Like I said, I don't really put too much on the poll, but they did give us love. And of course, in the top 101, they put us at number 15 as well. So, at the end of the day, if they don't want to give us love, then you know what? We'll go out and we'll earn it. We will earn the respect that we know um, that we deserve, and that's how you do it. You going out by winning. But as far as the Kentucky Wesleyan game tomorrow, how are you guys feeling about that? Are you guys feeling like, will it be? Steve, I was talking to somebody, and I can't remember who it was. I was talking to somebody, and basically, I think for me, what I want to see from this ball game is like I don't want to see a close game. I don't want to see it where in the second half, the other team has actually got their confidence up. They're actually making it a game. We can't make a basket. These guys are just running up and down the court. They got my hopes is that we don't let anyone on their team just go off and just have a big night. I know it's an exhibition game; it doesn't matter. But every time Kentucky basketball steps on the floor to Kentucky fans, oh, it matters, and it matters a lot. So for me, I hope that we go out and that we're able to take care of business in this game, and don't even make it close. Like, don't even give these guys any hope that maybe if we just stick around long enough, maybe we can. I know it's a major mismatch between Kentucky and Kentucky Wesleyan, but over the years, Kentucky basketball has played down to teams, and we have let teams like Kentucky Wesleyan or these other teams, little small teams, come in, and they had hope that they can actually maybe hang around for longer than they should. So I know we still got to work out some kinks. I know we're going to be playing somebody else, but I hope that we figure it out fast and that we don't give these guys any hope that these guys can actually or that they actually deserve to be on the court with Kentucky. I want to see some legit defense press on. I bet we win by 20. I hope we Kentucky by 20. I hope we win by 30. I'm not even like, dude, like I'm so over the close games of much smaller schools. And no disrespect to Kentucky Wesleyan whatsoever. I hope those guys go out. I hope they have a really great year down there. But at the end of the day, I'm sick of winning by maybe 12 points, 13 points against these teams and just letting them have hope that they're gonna do it. I want to see just like who said that just a minute ago. Someone said something, mentioned it over here. They mentioned something nobody mentioned about defense. I want to see just man. I just want to see what we got. Like we got. See, here's the thing with the basketball team. Like there's no reason why we should never have fresh legs on the floor. We have enough guys. Now, outside of Carr not playing, that's okay because if he's not playing, then that kind of you got the 12 people. That kind of puts that kind of makes it a little bit easier for Stoops to sub in and out a lot of players, a lot of game, a lot of the game. So I hope that's the case, and I hope he puts them in. And on the way to the score table for them to check in, he should just look at them and say, "We're running." We're running these guys, and we're pressing, and we're playing defense, and we're going to shut them down. So, how many threes? How many threes do we get up against Kentucky Wesleyan? Do we get up 30, at least 33 pointers against Kentucky Wesleyan? Um, Justin says this team will have a certain aspect that none of the teams in the last 15 years have had. 50, five fifth year seniors. I don't think they've ever happened before. They are all proven too. So that's what I'm saying. We got the guys out there, and I know all of them. All of them are not going to start it well because I know Carr probably won't play. I'm not sure if they'll play him because of his hamstring because he wasn't in the blue and white games. I'm not sure if they do, it'll probably be very limited minutes if they play him. But overall, like I just like I don't want to see Kentucky Wesleyan hang around at all. I want to see us get out early. One thing that we did over the past few years is we let teams come out in the first 4 or 5 minutes and just be like, dude, we can play with Kentucky. Like we can really look like we belong here. And to me, as a Kentucky fan, that's just disrespectful. I'm just gonna just put it out there. You don't let some team like that come into your house and just believe we can play with Kentucky. We can, if we hang around long enough, we may actually can beat them. And that's the hope that we've given teams, especially the smaller schools in the last few years. We've given them hope, and it's just like, oh my God, like we got to call a timeout because that's the only way that we can slow them down. I hope all of that is different this year. I hope we win by 20. I hope we up by 20 by halftime. And let's just put this thing. Someone said 50. Nobody, but we should win by 35 to 40. I hope so for real. Nobody said we should shoot 53 against Kentucky. Steve said 40s. They have 216 guys in the middle. Kentucky 30, Kentucky 35 threes. Well, I mean, we gotta do what we gotta do, man. So they talk about at least if they can get at least 35 threes up. What is it, 30 to 35 threes up a ball game? Then that's kind of the range what Pope wants as well. That's exciting to realize that your team is probably going to shoot 30 to 35 3-pointers. Now we got to make them. We got to make them, and um, we got to make them. And I know we're poised to shoot the three. We got the shooters in place to make it. We got to make them. And if we're making them, like if we take like if we take 35 threes and hit 14 of them, that's still good. I feel Kentucky dominates. I do too. Christopher Casey, thanks for joining in. Hillbilly, I see you as well. Thank you so much. Nobody, thank you. Nah, thank you. Clint Hardy, thank you so much. Um, this is Kentucky men basketball. Uh, those were Cal teams. Yeah, exactly. That was their team. And I hope with the new mindset of we're going to run and we're going to take care of business. Thanks for Mike Dow. Thank you so much. Exactly. That was the other guy's team. Now under Coach Pope, I just feel like as he said, yes, I think he said in his like I didn't get a chance to watch his press conference yet or whatever that he had in Louisville. The event that him and his wife spoke at. But I did see like little clips of it. And with the new mindset, with the newer way of how we're gonna do ball here at Kentucky, I just can't imagine us just being okay with just letting teams just build that early confidence that they can come in here at Kentucky. For me, I want to protect Rupp Arena. I want to get back to winning game after game after game. Like I want to get back up to that 30, 40, 60 games streak of not losing in Rupp Arena. Like I'm sick of losing in Rupp Arena. I can take going on the road in a hostile environment losing, but it irks me so much when we have another team to come into Lexington and beat us. I don't care who they are. It just really drives me crazy. So we got to get back to protecting home court, and we got to start winning at all means necessary. They will be live from three. No, three is the downside. They will live from the three, um, and the three is the downside. I mean, that's what I'm saying. If 17 out of 30, 17 out of 35, then dude, that's over 50% right there from 3 point as a team. All the guys can shoot. Um, but as that's what I was talking about, Justin. We shoot a lot of threes, but we got to make them because if that's going to be our what I'm looking for, if shooting the three is going to be our identity, then we got to make sure that we can support our identity by making the shots, and we got to be able to go out each game with confidence and knock down the shot. Dude, yes, we have shooters. We all know that we have shooters that can shoot the basketball, even all the way down to our freshmen. We have shooters, and you can't even call them freshmen the way they shoot the ball. Those guys can bring it home. But if long as we're scoring, long as we knocking down the 3 pointers, which is our identity of this team, we're moving the ball. People are setting others up for a better shot. Then I think that's what our team looks like, and that's what will bring us the most success is when everyone is in for each other, and we just want to win the ball game. And when you do that, I think Kentucky has a successful season. That's for sure. Sports Illustrated's new article on Andrew Carr. I haven't I haven't seen it yet, but I know one thing. Speaking of Andrew Carr, we've been putting a lot of attention on Kobe. We've been putting a lot of attention on um, Jackson Robinson. We've been putting a lot of attention on 𝐀𝐫𝐭𝐒𝐜𝐢𝐞𝐳𝐜. I think Carr has kind of flown up under the radar, and I don't think enough people are paying attention to him. And I think he's going to make a bigger impact on our team than I think most people really realize. I know it was the blue and white game, but I think those guys was really trying. But you can see that Andrew Carr was kind of willing his way to whatever he wanted to do. Now, when we get to another opponent in the SEC or a non-conference games, we'll see how that goes. But overall, I think Carr is going to play such a big role in the success of this season that I'm looking forward to actually watching him play and seeing what he does. You know, when it's crunch time and how dependable can he be out there on the floor as a forward who can shoot the ball and still go to the rim and put it down on somebody's head. So I think we have more of those instances where we come down to court and we hit like threes in a three like three threes in a row. That's 15 points real quick. I bet that happens at least once, twice a game. Do you man? The crowd goes crazy. The crowd would go crazy if we come down and just keep knocking down threes like that. I mean, Justin, you're on to something, big guy. And I tell you, if that can be the case, then it could be really special. It can be really, really special. And I think we're going to start turning heads. But remember, we're not real. I mean, TBS got us at 15. AP got us at 23. I like it because, like I said, we're going to just keep finding our way and we're going to just keep chipping away every single ball game, starting with Kentucky Wesleyan. Start to work out the kinks, start to make something else I want to see too as well. I want to see us go in at halftime, even against Kentucky Wesleyan. I want to see us go in at halftime and see what kind of adjustments we make to bring back onto the floor um, in the second half. Like these are the kind of things that I want to see that we haven't seen for many years. Like we understand what's not working in the first half. We're going to go in the locker room and we're going to sit down and we're going to look at the board and we're going to talk about what it is we got, the adjustments that we got to make going into the second half. And we're not going to just talk about the adjustment. We're going to go out and we're going to implement it immediately as soon as possible so we can make sure that we don't put ourselves in a bind in the first few minutes of the second half just because we failed to adjust and make the necessary in-game changes like we're supposed to. These are just little things that may seem like little, but they're major because people lose ball games, people lose games, people fall back. Like it's so much on the line this year in college basketball, so much on the line for a lot of teams. And I think Kentucky is no different. There's a lot on the line for Coach Pope. There's a lot on the line for the team. There's a lot on the line for the guys who know that this is their last time having a chance to play college basketball. We got to make it work now. And every game has to be your biggest game. And I like that, November 4th. I can't wait, man. Wright State is Kentucky's first official regular season. Yeah. Yeah, I get all of that, Clint. I know that their first game, but we gotta see this game against Kentucky Wesleyan as a game that we get to see ourselves against somebody else, and then we grow from that. And then we get better and better every single ball game. So when we do get to Duke, we'll be ready. Will we be battle tested like we're gonna get battle tested against Duke? No, but just being out on the floor and having that game time experience against somebody else and figuring out the rotations, figuring out who's going to do this and all this kind of stuff. I mean, we might have a starting 5 different ball games. You never know what's up his sleeve. But I think the best guy deserves to be on the floor for the tip off. And I think Coach Pope is going to do that. And I don't think he's going to be too biased when it comes to that area as well, too. So, exactly. That's why I'm saying when Williams go off the floor, when Garrison comes in, there's not a let off. Garrison's still gonna protect the rim. He can score a little bit better. He can score a little bit better than under Williams can. But Williams is a defensive guy. So is Garrison. We're not gonna have a drop off just because just because we go to the bench. And that's the beauty of this team right here. Is that's the reason why we can go full speed so much is because of the talent that we have sitting on the bench, ready to come in the ball game and eager to come in the ball game at the first chance that they get. So Garrett is my sleeper. Uh, this is a wide open year. I don't believe there is a dominant team this year. I don't neither. UConn is not going to be as good as they have been in the past. Duke got some. As someone who does videos, I don't want to just sit here and be like, okay, UK is just there's nobody else in the world that has a solid team out there this year. And so for me to do that would just it'd be bad. Nobody, I wouldn't want to watch me if only thing I did was just talking about Kentucky was the only good team out there. There's some solid teams out there. But my point is, just like who said that just now? Someone said that we got can't remember who. I wanted to give credit for that. There's some good wide open year. I don't believe we're the dominant team. But anyway, like Duke got a good team. I'm not going to take that away from them. Kansas is a good team this year. Iowa State, those guys, the Big 12 is a really, really good conference. So there's some good teams out there. The question is UK ready for this? Is UK ready to go out there and put it all together, put all the pieces in place up under Coach Pope, and can we get some solid wins? Gonzaga, a sleeper. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like we got to go out there and we just got to play each game like it's our biggest game of the year, and we'll let everything take care of itself. But I think just overall with the new coaching, with the new mindsets, with the smartness, with wanting to use analytics, wanting to use all of this stuff, all the tools at your disposal, including all your players, I think this year is just going to be special in one way or another. I really believe that. Everybody says Kansas, Bama, then everybody else. See, I'm not necessarily. I'm not. Dude, Mark Serious. We ran that guy in the floor last year when they came to town. We ran him in the floor last year with freshmen. Come on, man. Like that's Mark. Yeah, he went on to have. Yeah, he went on to tuck his team far. Deep into the tournament. Respect. What I'm saying. I'm glad they represented the SEC. That's all good. But remember, we let him have it last year. We let him have it last year. What makes it gonna make it any different this year? You don't think Butler's gonna be or Kirk Christian's gonna be ready to guard him? Are you kidding me? Come on, man. It's dude. I'm not denying that Alabama doesn't have a good team. I'm not even denying that Mark Sears is not a good player. Mark Sears is a solid player. I mean, he's an early candidate for SEC Player of the Year. He's an early candidate for National Player of the Year. I'm not going to take it away from that young man. I'm not going to be a hater. But we've already showed that we can stop him here at Kentucky, and we've already found his weak spot. So you got older guys now playing against him. You got Butler, and Butler know who he is. Oh, believe me, Butler knows who he is. Kirk Krista, he knows who he is. Duke, and look, this is the thing about Kansas. Hunter, when Hunter is faced with somebody that's as good as him, I am so disappointed that Kentucky does not play Kansas this year because I would love to see Hunter and Williams and Hunter and what's name face off. Man, dude, I would love to see Hunter Dickinson just go up against Williams. That would be a matchup for days. We don't get them this year. So hopefully, maybe we both make it to the Final Four. Maybe we make it. Maybe we see each other in March. I don't know. But I really wish that we play Kansas here because that is got 40 in a loss. How many players have got 40 in a loss? I'm not sure. I do think that the Big Blue Nation is going to leave a big footprint in the SEC. ATM, welcome to the show. Thank you so much as well for joining in. Scott Merritt, thank you so much. I see you. Thank you guys. I think let's see. I don't think the big. I think this Kentucky team will give it everything they have to win every time on the floor. I do too. Do you think everyone will score on the team tomorrow? Do you think everybody will score on it? Yeah, well, first of all, everybody's going to play. We know that for a fact. Unless, well, of course, if you don't dress out, then you won't play. But I can't imagine everybody all the way down from Trent Noor to Perry. Chandler's going to score. I mean, we're not even talking about. I haven't even mentioned Chandler one time. Like that guy is going to be a good basketball player. He's going to be one of those players where it's like, well, we thought we was going to have him for 2 years. He's out of here after 1 year. You know what I'm saying? So he's. I think he's going to be that kind of player come mid-year, if not early. I mean, he might come out and just surprise everybody from day one and says, "I'm better than you thought I was." I took the time off because I was with the Lord, but the Lord told me it's okay for me to go ahead and go on back and hoop out, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So that's what I'm looking forward to as well. We got experience and youth. I think they'll gel good together. And I like these first two games, and I like the games that we have going into before we actually get to play Duke. All of this stuff is just going to help us play more, and that's why it's so good right now. Even though I love seeing our guys get up and down the court in the blue and white game, I'm more looking forward to these guys actually getting these guys actually playing against somebody else. So that's going to feel good because over in the first right state. So we got like one. What is that? That's an exposition. So we got 4 games, 4 different opponents before we reach Duke. To me, I think by the time we do that, I think we will. I think we'll have a lot of kinks worked out, have everything going down, know each other even better after that time frame, and I think by the time we get to Duke, we'll be ready to go. Um, Toe may not play much. Toe. Who's Toe? I'm sorry, I don't Toe. Maybe I'm slow right now. My apologies for that. Toe. Two may not play much. Um, I bet we get 20 games before he lost. That would be good. That means we beat Duke. Nobody. If we do that as well, we're going to be. Who's going to be the player who can take the game over for UK? You know, people actually this game. This is for Sean. You know, people kind of feel like that Jackson Robinson came here to Kentucky to be that guy, um, and I don't doubt that. He's trying to get to the he's trying to get to the league next year. So he has a lot on his shoulders for trying to be that guy. But I think it's gonna be I don't think it's gonna be like an every night thing. Jackson Robinson has to be that guy. I just think it's just going to be that person who's having a hot hand that night. The person who is just like everything is just falling. No matter where they're on the floor, they can go get a basket if they have to. They can go baseline. They can go down the middle if they want to. I mean, I look for a game or two, if not more, of Chandler maybe being that guy. I mean, I love seeing him. I love look his defense turned into offense, and that was so good to see him out there doing that. And I think that's why, even though, like I said, we don't talk about him a whole lot. If everybody's talking about Kentucky, they have a two or three, maybe four guys that they talk about on a regular basis. But the Carr runs up under the table. The Chandler runs under the table. These guys, they just kind of like they just up under the table. They're just not really being talked about a lot. And I think that's good, and I think they can appreciate it. But I think they got a small chip on their shoulder because, hey, look at me. I'm okay. Yes, I'm here for Kentucky. Yes, I want Kentucky to win. And yes, Kentucky winning is the most important thing. But don't forget about me. I can still ball. I can still ball with the best of them. And I think that's going to be what's going to be so good seeing these guys back on the floor for the first time against Kentucky Wesleyan because I think these guys are excited. They're ready. If you haven't seen already, it's pictures and maybe videos out there as well. But even this is for Mike Dell. Even if Jackson Robinson is indeed our go-to guy, Jackson might have an off night. And if he has an off night, then what are you doing? What if Jackson's having an off night? What if our threes are not falling? Somebody else has got to step up. Like if the other team knows that every single night the only go-to guy that we got is Jackson, then that's losing the battle before we even get started. Because the team says they ain't got nobody. If they having a bad night, the three's not falling, we'll just double up on Jackson. And then what are they going to do? So I think Jackson Robinson is going to be a big part of being that go-to guy. I really do. But I just feel like I think it's really going to come down to who's having that kind of night. And a thing about being a good teammate is when the game is on the line and you know that people may be expecting you to be the guy that maybe go get a basket, but you know that your teammate has been on all night, but you still, well, I'm gonna just do it myself. Dude, you ain't been on all night. You ain't been having a good night. He has. I don't care what everybody else wants you to do. You do what's best for the team and you get him the ball and you let him and we can live with that. You know what I'm saying? We can live with that saying, okay, this guy's he's at the hot hand all night. We can live with him taking a shot at, and if he misses it, that's cool. He's been hitting all night. But then everybody will go back and say you should have gave it to Jackson Robinson or he should have kept it. We gotta be consistent with the way that we feel. If the guy's having a hot hand, we gotta be okay with winning or losing with the guy taking the shot. Because the other guy, the chances of the other guy just mysteriously just getting hot and just going off because we need him to, sometimes that's slim to none. So we got to go with the hot hand sometimes. And I think that's what makes a good teammate is when you can recognize I have not had a good night. He has. The ball's in your hand. Please go score for us. So that's a lot of maturity right there too. So NBA Pro Day, the scouts called out Amari, Noah, and Chandler with Robinson. I think these guys are going to be good now. He called out Noah. Okay, I didn't know that Amari, Noah, and Chandler with Robinson. So it's just I think it's just going to be a night to night thing. But I think everyone is clear that Robinson is here to be the guy in situations like that. He can be our go to guy. But I think at the end of the day, you still got to depend on who has the hot hand. And like I said, as we get into these two exposition games and then our two regular season games, I think we're gonna start to really see who we are, and then hopefully when we play Duke, we'll be fine tuned and we'll be ready to go, and we'll be able to go to Atlanta and we'll be able to knock off Duke, and everyone says that we just couldn't do it. No, um, no, no. Who's and Kevin Nolan? Nolan is a sleeper. No, who's? I'm so sorry. I'm having a brain freeze. I'm not really familiar with Nolan. Can you tell me who that is, Kevin? Let's not forget about Travis Perry. He's young, but I think he's going to have a hot hand. And that's Tim, that's exactly what I'm talking about, man. Like we have this vision that the area that the picture has been painted, that we have this person, and this person, and this person. But then people like Perry, Noah, Chandler, Carr, like these are the kind of guys that fall under the radar, that we don't pay that much attention to, that I think is going to make a crucial impact for our team. And they're, besides actually, you know what? Besides Carr, the other guys are gonna come off the bench. Dude, I just think Kentucky's going to be okay, man. I just do, and I don't want to be here because I love Kentucky, because that's my team. I don't want to be here and just just say that just because I love Kentucky, because I like to give people credit where credit is due, but I also like to be realistic and just say, with what we got, if Coach Pope handles it, and he gets the best, which Coach Pope would get the best out of his players. He will push them to be the best versions of themselves that helps the team. And once he does that, and everyone completely continues, because they've already brought into it, you can see it. But as they continue to buy into it more and more and more, and they start to see these games unfold, and you start to see just what they can do as a team, it's just going to get better and better, because everyone wants. And I, look, man, I can't wait to see Travis Perry out on the floor and shoot the ball. I can't wait to see Noah. The people of Kentucky are going to let those guys know how appreciative they are when they check into the ball game. You know that, and I know that. Like, they're going to get it. They're going to get a nice little ovation. That's for sure. And I think these guys are going to go out. I know the pressure of Kentucky is on their back, but I think they're going to handle it well. And I think Coach Pope is going to set those guys up in a situation that they can have success early on. For sure. Sorry, my phone changed it. Noah, okay, because I was like Nolan. I'm like, I don't know, I don't know what's today. So I don't know a Nolan. So I was kind of off a little bit. Sorry, my phone. No problem. Williams could be the five in the SEC. Williams is going to make some noise, man. It is, and I don't. First of all, when I watched the blue and white game, those guys are long, man. They just, was it me, or was it the camera angles that just made everybody look long? Because Carr looked like he was just tall. Garrison running down the court looked like he was just long. Williams finally had a chance to really see Williams at a different kind of setting, I guess you can say. Williams looked tall. Like, our guys, just Chandler looks tall, and I'm excited. I cannot wait to get on the basketball court against Kentucky Wesleyan. So, like I said, tomorrow after the game goes off, I will go live again. Today's Wednesday for me, so I got to get up at 2. The game comes on at 7. The game comes on at 7 Eastern, right? Is that what time the game starts? I think it is. Somebody let me know that, because I can look right here. I don't need no help. 7 o'clock. So that means that's 2 o'clock. So this time tomorrow night, we won't be here. We'll be watching the ball game. And as soon as it goes off, I go live with the ball game. We'll talk about the ball game for a few minutes before I have to go to work. But we will not have a Thursday night show because of the Wednesday night show. We will not. So I went back and counted the 3-point contested with Noah and Noah. I went back and counted the 3-point contest final with Noah and Perry, and Noah made 39. Noah made 19 and Perry made 18. Perry won because he hit both 5-point field goals, but in the game they had been threes, and Noah whatever. Yeah, I'm Noah's another person that we just, he's a freshman. He's just kind of under the radar. No, Perry, just under the radar. Like, these guys can shoot the basketball. I just can't imagine. Like, for me, it's hard to imagine when you take kids like that can shoot the ball, like Perry and like Noah, and they don't get and what they did in high school. Oh, it's okay. They just shot the lights out in high school. It's no big thing. But then you can take another guy, you can take another player, another so-called 5-star players, and you think he's just going to come into college basketball and he's just going to be the best in the world. He's just going to just be the best. Like, hold on. Like, this guy can shoot the basketball. Why do you refuse to give this guy the kind of credit that he deserves, but you give him the credit? Why? Like, I don't. I so um, yeah. Don't get me started because I get excited. Yes, 7. Um, Williams looks so much better than our centers last year. Oh, he looks a whole lot better than our centers last year. It ain't even a question about if he looks better. And while little Unitso, while he came on at the end and he became a solid rim protector for us, I just think Williams still has more qualities for sure. Fix your comment. Fix your comments, people. Mike. They are not showing up on the screen. Oh, the overlay. Sorry about that. That's probably for the Facebook people. Is that who said? Oh no, Vandy Chris. Hey Chris, fix your comment. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate that. I completely forgot about that. I was able to see him, but I wasn't. I forgot to put him on the screen, so that's my fault. Thanks, Chris. Let's see. Hey Chris, congratulations on you guys being in the top 25, bro. That's all right, bro. You guys have worked your butts off, and Vandy got in the top 25. But your center last year was too worried about kissing other. I guess so. We'll see what he does at Ohio State this year as well. So it's all good. So we'll see how it goes. Polk will play all these guys. Yeah, I think so too. But I mean, I'm looking forward to us getting out there and just playing other teams out there and just seeing what kind of a difference we can make. But I really feel like that as we get into these games, and while these games right here, we'll play it. Thank you so much for playing. Here's your little check or whatever you get, whatever. I think as we start getting closer and closer to Duke, I think things start wrapping up. I think we're gonna be okay. That was Arkansas's locker room entering the portal of whoever dropped this. So, your center last year. I'm waiting to see if the Butler. I'm trying to see if Butler can keep his confidence, his conference defensive player of the year going year in the SEC. That's going to be interesting. Like I said, I can't imagine just because you have a good year and what I'm saying, you was one of the best in your conference and what you do, and then you come over to a bigger conference. I just don't. Some people are a bust. I get that, but I just everybody that we got that was good in their conference. I can't imagine that everybody just comes over and they turn out to be a bust here at Kentucky. Scotty Duke for y'all. That center they have has some terrible hands. You would want the ball in his hands as much as possible. So we're looking forward to that, man. We're looking forward. I kind of wish. We had Duke in the SEC in the ACC SEC challenge, but we always play them on a big stage in Atlanta because we get those kind of games at Kentucky. Wesleyan pretty good. Might be close for a half. And hey, Peanut, welcome to the show. Thank you so much. And see, that's the kind of thing, and this is no disrespect to Kentucky Wesleyan, none whatsoever. And like I'm not even gonna lie, no disrespect to these guys, but I don't want to see a close to the half. I just don't. Now, if we're talking about a close to the half, and then we'll see what kind of adjustments we're able to make at halftime, and then come back out and then blow them out from the get go. I guess I can live with that. But overall, I don't want to see Kentucky Wesleyan hanging around. I just don't. I want to see us just. I want to see us dominate. Last year, we didn't really start having a really good game for the most part until Shepard and Dillingham came off the bench. And that was what, 4 or 5 minutes into the game. Then they came in and then everything changed. We got to start that this year. Like when the tip ball goes up, our energy level has just got to be good. And it's got to be high. And we just can't let teams just hang around. And no disrespect to Kentucky Wesleyan, but they're not Kentucky. So if we just being real, so I hope if it's for the purpose of it's a close at halftime, let's see truly how smart Coach Pope is and his staff, and let's see what judgments that they know that we have to make. What kind of notes are they taking during the ball game, and how do we make those adjustments going in out coming out to halftime? That would be the only positive thing that I can think of of letting those guys stay in the ball game until halftime and seeing if we got the coaches built and if they're as smart as we hope they are, is that we understand that this is what they're doing. We're going to do this, and then everything that they've been doing the first half, it's over with. We shut them down because we understand how to make the changes. Coming out of halftime, now the ball not getting that deep in the paint, so this game shouldn't be close at all. It shouldn't be close at all. And I'm for me, I just want to see us come out in the first 5 minutes, and can we have a 15-point lead as fast as possible? Nobody, when I say that, I'm trying to force him to handle the ball in the open court, force those guys to give it up. Yeah, I mean, you got to play defense against Duke, and Duke's a solid team, man. I'm not taking anything away from Duke. I'm not going to just be a Kentucky homer and just say, "Oh, Duke is no good." That would be stupid. So, good job, Chris. I appreciate that. Um, what I'm saying is, when we get to where we need to be at after these first four opponents, can we be ready to lock in and ready to play a team like Duke? Because none of these teams are going to none of these 4 p.m. game. That's on a Saturday. I may be able to watch it. I'm not sure, but it's going to give us a chance to really just kind of work some kinks out against other teams and be ready to go against Duke. And I think that's the benefit of all of this right here. Um, see, that was only so could say come be a top pick off the bench for his recruiting. Didn't matter what. I guess so. I don't know for sure. Now the ball getting that deep in the paint could be, man. We are smaller. Jacob said we are smaller than I think in SEC play. We may struggle. You never know, man. It's just gonna be about the um, which version of Kentucky shows up every night. We say that the same thing about football. Which version? Which we play Auburn this weekend, and I'm not sure. Does anybody in here believe that we have what it takes to beat Auburn this week? Um, and if so, what's the score? What's your score against Auburn? I think the question is will Duke be ready for us? We got the experience, and I think at the end of the day, thanks, Peanut. That's one thing that I said, and I listen to people talk about how good Duke is and everything. But when I think about the experience that Kentucky has, I don't know, man. It's just like it's hard to fathom that we're not even just at least competitive in this ball game. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, okay, they got a bunch of freshmen, but how is Arkansas number 16 in the ESPN rankings? You know why they number 16. That's an easy explanation. I don't know because they got probably the best Western 2-0 against Auburn. So Pope was in top two in 3-point shooting last year. You don't think he's gonna bring that same mindset to where he got some really good shooters over here too as well as being Stoops always redeemed himself. We win 2-0 against Auburn. We get a safety. Uh, I believe Kentucky defense would stop Duke. I mean, and we got to keep in mind, like everyone's talking about how we're going to stop Duke. People got to ask the question, maybe how's Duke going to stop Kentucky? I mean, I think it has to go both ways. I think that's going to be such a big ball game that night. It's a late ball game. I'm definitely taking off from work that day. I am for sure. Kentucky 90. I hope we hang up on. I think we hang 100 on them. Why not? Let's put 100 on them. First exposition game up on a Coach Pope. Let's hang 100 on them. Peanut, no lie. Duke is young, but remember some of those dudes play with the team USA. Your talent level won't bother them. And I don't think it's a matter of a talent level that'll bother them. I think it's we have the we have the experience of knowing the pressure of playing in college basketball, which I think goes a long way. We have the experience of closing out games if needed to be like that. Um, we have what it takes. I mean, we understand college basketball in a way that those guys don't already. And by the time they get to Kentucky, it's still an early year for those guys. So we're going into it we're going into college basketball just more experienced and just kind of ready for the moment. Does that always equate to a win? No, it does not always. It does not always equate to a win. It doesn't. There's teams out there with freshmen that are going to run people off the floor. I understand that. But if you're looking for any type of advantage or any kind of one leg up or whatever, I just think Kentucky has it. And it's just a matter of, like I said, are we going to knock down the threes? Are we going to be able to switch up the defense to keep them honest? Are we gonna just force these guys to just go to Cooper every single time, or what? There's a lot of what ifs that we're gonna do, but until we get on the floor and play, then I think that's the biggest thing. So Kentucky's due for a big win. We ain't had one in a long time in basketball. It feels like. So I hope that this is the game. We keep losing to Kansas. We keep losing to Duke. Come on, man. Kentucky's got to do something this year for real. And I hope we go out here and we kind of show the nation who we are. Because that's going to be a game. That's going to be a game that the nation is going to watch. People are going to want to see that basketball game. And people are going to tune in. You can depend on that happening for sure. We've been losing to veteran teams for 7 years now. Now we have a veteran team playing Duke freshmen. Why should we be worried? Uh, I mean, Sean's pretty much said it all right there. You know what I'm saying? We've been losing to veteran teams for 7 teams. Now we have a veteran team playing. Why should we feel like, okay, we're that vet team? We're the ones that's going to figure out the way how to win the ball game, not the freshmen. You see what I'm saying? So it's you know, I mean, Chris, you guys have a very seasoned team this year. You guys are probably going to be pretty good because you guys got the experience. You guys are not coming in with a bunch of freshmen. You guys got guys who have already played in college basketball, who know the ins and outs of playing ball in college. You guys should have a productive year this year as well, too. And I like it when Vandy or all the teams in the SEC is good because it represents the SEC as a whole of us being the powerhouse, hopefully, over the Big 12. Don't forget, there's no Coach K. Duke's new coach, not the best. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of positives, and there's a lot of things that we can look at, especially going into this Duke game in 4 games or whatever it is in our 5th game against somebody else. So a lot of things that we can look at, and I just really believe that Coach Pope in his first real game. And here's the thing about it, man, is that Coach Pope understands the history between Kentucky and Duke. Maybe the last coach didn't understand it. Besides him wanting to beat his rival coach or whatever, he don't really understand the rivalry that goes into or the hate that goes in between Duke and Kentucky. And until you played it, until you walked it, until you sweat, until you cried, until you understand that what it all means to play Duke like Mark Popes does, then you can't really, really, really prepare for that ball game with the kind of heart that Coach Pope is going to do leading up to that game. Coach Pope understands if it's any game besides that in Louisville, if there's any game on the schedule that Coach Pope understands very, very, very clear is what it means to play Duke, what it means to play Louisville, and how important it is to the fan base to get those wins. Let's see what happens. You're talking about a game might have foul trouble with Carr. Could be. You know what I'm saying? Got to see my argument is freshmen usually make good individual plays, but sometimes their mistakes end up hurting the team more over the course of 40 minutes. And absolutely, and that's why I'm saying the maturity of learning how to close out games, the maturity of knowing the ins and outs of college basketball that a young freshman just don't know yet. See, that's the thing about Coach Pope having so many upperclassmen this year. When you go into fall, when you go into practice, when you get your team together and you go into practice, the first few practices are all about teaching your freshmen about the game of college basketball. Coach Pope didn't have to do that very much. You want to know why? Because he had so many upperclassmen that they was going to take Chandler, Noah, and Perry, and they was going to bring them along with them. They was going to teach them the game. So what did Coach Pope have to do? The only thing Coach Pope had to do was just teach basketball. That's it. Teach his way of doing things. The other guys will bring the younger guys along with them. So instead of spending so much time learning how to play college basketball, we're learning about how to play Coach Pope's system. And I think that's the advantage over Coach for Duke. He's teaching these freshmen how to play college basketball. He's teaching them to get their mindsets out that this is no longer high school basketball, that this is college basketball, and we got to go out and play. And we had the same problem here at Kentucky. We had to teach the young guys all season how to play college basketball, and it didn't even work most of the time. So now that we don't have to do that, I think that we really can do. Anyone see that 30 for 30? I hate Christian Layton story of my life. Story of my life. So Flag probably no better than Reed Shepherd. Reed didn't keep us from losing. Everyone's kind of got him as a front runner for Player of the Year. And that's cool. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't worry me at all because Flag can't beat us by himself. I don't know. I don't care how good. I don't care what Flag did in the. I don't care what he did in the NBA USA practice squad. I don't care what he did. You show me one guy that has went out and scored 100 points and was able to beat a team all by himself, and I shut up. I don't care. Some people are like, you know what? We'll let Flag get his. We just can't let everybody else get theirs. Things like that happen. Reed choked when it counted, just like all freshmen do in big games. That won't happen this year. And Reed choked in that game, but now he's in the NBA and he's killing it. So I don't know. Flag is much better than Reed Shepherd. No disrespect. He may be better than. I mean, he may be much better than Shepherd. But no, hey, but I tell you what though, nobody coming into the season saw Reed Shepherd being as good as he did. For real, no one seen him being that good. I don't think many people saw Reed Shepherd as being what the number was, what, 7 pick in the NBA, something like that, 7th or whatever he was to Houston. I don't think nobody came into the season when he signed up and said I'm going to Kentucky. No one envisioned that. We was like, well, maybe he's going to be here about 2 or 3 years. Nope, 1 year, lottery pick, done. Nobody's seen it. So we can look at what people have done up to this point and whatever, and we can say, yeah, they're not really all that. Oh, whatever. But at the end of the day, that's going to be a fun game. We can say what we want to. We can go back and forth, and I'm going to do a video on it. But it's just one of those things, man. Kentucky is just going to be fun to watch. Sean, who scored 13 on Lincoln? I think we as fans have kind of forgotten what experience and veteran basketball is. Very talented players on the Cal, but vets can do great things. Will be refreshing to see. Hey, Jason, thanks for the show. It will be refreshing just to see this. And as a fan, it felt good to me knowing that my coach didn't have to spend the first part of his summer teaching people how to play basketball. He was just like, y'all have already played basketball. Y'all already knows what it means to work out every day. You guys already know what it means to bring it every single practice. You guys already know that you can't take a day off in college basketball. You guys know this. I don't have to teach you guys that. You guys been in long enough. Now let's just see what. Now let's just learn my system, and that's the good thing about it. Third is pretty good in NBA drive. No room for Flag to slack up. Did Reed go number 3? He went number 3. My fault for that. No disrespect, Reed. Dillingham went second. I mean 7th, I think it was. No disrespect, Reed, to that. My bad. You the man. Number 3. You go, Doc. Yeah, absolutely. Scored 13 on Lincoln. Cooper scored 13 on Lincoln. Who's Lincoln? I'm not sure who watched the interview with Colin Chandler and Martin Williams, mature personalities. Hey, Stephen, welcome to the show. These guys, they just want to come in and play basketball, man. Like, look, I don't need all the outside. I don't need all the spotlight. I came here for one reason, and one reason only, is to win basketball games. Leave everything else out. I don't care about everything else, and I think that's what a mature team can get for you. Is I don't care about everything else. I just want to win basketball games. Tell me something else after the season's over. But for right now, we gonna win. Sean, that is incorrect. Flag at 22 points guess uh, Cooper had 17. Uh, it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be fun. Chris is a stats guy. Yeah, for real. Cooper scored on Lincoln. Um, on Lincoln. Who's Lincoln? I don't know who Lincoln is. Um, third is pretty good in NBA draft. No room for flag to slack off. Yep, that's true. I mean, they got flag as being probably the number one pick in the NBA draft next year. But we know how people get to college, and sometimes they're not as good as advertised. You know what I'm saying? So they're not as good as advertised. It's a lot of hype. I mean, then they have like Wagner going number one for a long time. Then they have Wagner at least going lottery pick. He's back at Arkansas. Like crazier things have happened, man. 13 and 6 assists. Crazier things have happened, and I think DJ Wagner's going to be a good player this year. For wasn't it Lincoln in the D2 school out of Pennsylvania. So I it's just we're gonna see what happens. The article I read said 13 and 6 assists. They are going to take one game at a time, and that starts with Kentucky Wesleyan, and that's what I'm excited about, and that's what I'm looking forward to a lot. Looking forward just to seeing what these guys are going to do in this exposition game. And next week they play. Their second exposition game is against Minnesota State, Mankato. So we'll see. We'll work it out. I have the box score pulled up and watch it. We'll just see what happens and see how everything goes out. But look, basketball season is going to be fun, and I know a lot of people out there still got some good football teams out there. Teams are winning ball games. They still trying to make a run for bowl game, championship, all this kind of stuff. So no disrespect to football, nothing like that. But it's football time in the states. Cooper is Dillingham, but 6'9". Um, Cooper is Dillingham, but 6'9". He's big. Man, Dillingham's nice too, man. Yeah, I have about to score. Um, it's just going to be fun to watch college basketball this year. I don't think Kentucky fans have been as excited and waiting for basketball season as much as they have in a long time, like they are now. And we're just looking for one game at a time. Don't get ahead of don't get too ahead of ourselves. Focus on growth after each ball game, during each ball game, and seeing when when the games that matter the most. Let's see if they're on the line. Let's see if we can go out there and win some ball games that maybe people say we shouldn't be winning because you already know that we're not the favorites against Duke by a long shot. So we don't have anything. If we lose, then Mike, you can verify that. I watched it. I was sending him screenshots of some of their dudes. Good thing Carr is 6'11". well, he had number 3 and number 7 pick on our team last year. How that worked out? Didn't work out good. It didn't work out good at all. It just didn't, and we'll see. We'll just see. This is the year where we test the Carr's Larry Bird. Carr can shoot the ball, man, and if nobody's talking about it, nobody. That was Cal's fault. Mike can verify that. I watched it. I was sending him screenshots of some of the dudes exactly coaching. So we're gonna see if we said coaching was the problem, then we're definitely gonna see if Coach Pope indeed is the real deal when it comes to coaching, making the in-game adjustments, figuring out what being one step ahead of the other team, and we'll see if he's as smart as we hope he is. No doubting you, Chris, but the only article I read said different. Starting lineup guesses. Starting lineup for against Kentucky Wesleyan will. I mean, I think everyone pretty much knows that it's going to be Carr at the 4. It's going to be Butler at the 1. I think it's going to be is it going to be Kobe at the 2? No, Kobe's probably going to be at the 3. Wesleyan's probably going. I don't know. It's going to be the starting lineup is going to be Butler. Um, 𝐀𝐫𝐭𝐒𝐞𝐢𝐞𝐳 is 6'7" freshman guard that can get up and down the floor quick and has a serious hops. The starting five tomorrow night against Kentucky. I think it's pretty clear. It's going to be Butler, Kobe, um, Jackson Robinson, um, Williams, and Carr. Yeah, I don't think Garrison's going to start. I think Williams gets the nod. Um, I think he was, even though we got Garrison, and which is really good. I really think that Amari was high on Pope's list in the very beginning. So I think that's the reason why he's gonna. I think that's why he actually is going to get the nod tomorrow night. But that's okay though, because I mean when Garrison comes in, Garrison's just going to get up and down the floor, man. He's long, he can run, he can protect the rim, and I don't think we're going to have a let off when he comes into the ball game. And I really, really believe that Colin on Cooper nipple. Is that how you? Let me see that. Coup nipple. Is that okay? I make sure. Coup nipple. Cool. We gotta get used to saying that. Uh, I mean, Collins is gonna play ball, man. Collins is gonna show up to play defense. We can't. I mean, we gotta. And then you go on the bench and you look, and you just got our guys. And so I think at the end of the day, Duke is not. I don't think Duke is going to be as. I don't think Duke is deep as us, and I think that's going to be the difference in the ball game between us and Duke. I just don't think they are as deep as us for sure. Next five up in 7 to 8 minutes exactly. So we can we can look at the starting five, but was it Condon? Knipple? I guess that's it. Hopefully, cool nipples. Okay, sure. We can say that and everything, but it don't matter what your name is. You just got to go out there and just play ball. We really do. So I look forward to being back here tomorrow night after the post game show. If you're watching on Facebook, understand that the post game show will not be live on YouTube. It will only be here on YouTube. So if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Please like the video if you haven't as well too. If he was good, we know his name. We know Flag's name, so he's good. Cooper Flag, he's good. Anyway, hey man, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I put this a long time to March. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. Yeah, we're gonna work some things out. And even at the worst case scenario, we lose to Duke, we still gonna have a good year. I really believe we're gonna have a good year. We're gonna make some noise in the SEC, and we're gonna be fine. We really are. So, but it sure would feel good to beat Duke. That's for sure. It sure would feel good. So go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you guys who support me here on YouTube. It means more than you can ever know. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for hitting the like button. And until tomorrow night, you've been watching the Loyal BBN Fan Show, and we are out.